Hello everybody and welcome to another craft along for World Card Making Day. Today is the 2nd of October 2021 and it is the day for some card making. I am going live 3 times for a craft along. This morning we did a one sheet wonder where 12 Christmas cards were completed. No, that's not the right word. Formed. I don't know what the right word is. Made, thank you, honey. Totally not with words today. Anyway, and today, or should I say at this time, we are going to do a fantastic fun fold. It's one that I learned a very long time ago, but haven't shared on how to make it because I was always a bit nervous about getting it right live, but I think I've got it down packed, so we're all good to go. My name is Tatiana. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia and part of the 2021 Artisan Design team. I have got the supplies you need for this fantastic fun fold in the video description, and we are going to do it step by step together. So I hope you've gathered your supplies. The main thing is you need 2 pieces of cardstock in the same color, some DSP and some white cardstock. So let's flip. Let's see if I get this right. Yep. Let's flip and take a look at what I am creating. Hello. I am really sorry I cannot pronounce that name. It's a beautiful name. Signiz, I think. Happy World Card Making Day to you too. So my card, should I reveal what the card is? Ooh, or let's just do the cutting first and then you can find out what the fun fold is. But I have chosen to use the Whimsical tree stamp set, and there's coordinating dies. And this is a suite. So it's the Whimsy and Wonder suite from the July to December mini catalogue. And that is on pages 24 to 25. And I'm using the Designer Series paper. I've got actually, we might incorporate the snowflakes, we'll see in the ribbon, but anyhow, so I've got that. Let's start with piece number 1. So you need your paper trimmer, and we're going to take our A4 sheet and cut it in half, which is at 10.5 centimeters, and put that to the side, and then flip it around and score at the halfway mark, which is 14.8. Well, actually, technically it's 14.85. So that's our card base already. Then we're going to take the other half of that cardstock and we are going to cut it to 9 centimeters, making sure it's all nice and straight. And by 24, so I'm going to have to flip out my arm and I'm going to get 24 centimeters across. Can anyone guess what the card is or what kind of fun fold it is yet? And now we are going to score this 3 times. Once at 6 centimeters, then at 12 centimeters, and finally at 18 centimeters. And the next piece we will need, once again, 9 centimeters. And this one we cut at 20 centimeters. So, and we score it lengthways in half, so that's at 4.5. And I really recommend that you're being super accurate with this, so I'm making sure it's at the 4.5 mark there as well as in the middle, so that the score line is nice and straight. That's very important. Now we need to mark 5.5 centimeters from each corner in, and I use my trimmer for this. It doesn't really matter. You could use a pencil, but you know, to find a pencil when you need one, it's easier just to. So I've just put notches in at 5.5 centimeters and flipping the cardstock around and doing the same on the other side. I'm lifting this before I do the notch on the other side, otherwise we'll be cutting, and that's not what we want. Now I'm going to score across in an X. So from one of the notch to the diagonally opposite notch, and making sure they're all lined up, double checking, and once the guide is down, there we go. Where's the other notch? I've lost this notch. Hello, Joanne. I've lost the notch. There we go. Found the notch. This is where pencil is better. But I still like my notch system. There we go. And scoring. Can anyone take a guess as to what card, fancy fold or fun fold, we are creating here yet? Cross and again. There are the card bits. Now, for the inside of the card, we need some designer series paper. Now, you could either do 2 pieces of designer series paper or do 1 DSP and 1 basic white, which is what I'm going to do. Yes, that is absolutely right, Joanne. We are doing the twist and pop. Well, I know it is the twist and pop. It could be twist and open. So we need it at 9.5 centimeters. Isn't this pretty? This designer series paper has iridescent foiling. I really, really love it. And at 10 centimeters the other way. And we need some Whisper White in the same measurements. And I forgot to prep that. It's all good. I cut it this way. We need 10 centimeters by 9.5. 9.5. Don't know why I said half. And if you wanted some DSP for these panels, you can do that. Each panel measures 9 centimeters by 6 centimeters, so you want something a bit smaller. But I've pre-die cut these, so I think they fit quite nicely in there. And that is the Stitched So Sweetly dies from the annual catalogue, and it's the 3rd largest or 4th smallest, depending on which way you look at it, die there. So I've got 4 of those all ready to go. And some DSP for the front, which we will do. I've got my sample over here. Let me measure. So I might as well show now that I've just been playing, but I've done. So I've been using the other DSP in the same pack, but I've done it in mint macaron and twist and pop. So you can see it twists in and untwists and pops out. That is so much fun. And I love how smoothly it just glides. I haven't finished decorating this one, so this is what I mean, but you could either use 2 pieces of designer series paper, or I like to be able to write a message, so that's why I've used the 1 piece down here that's Whisper White, so it gives us a bit of space to write a message. I saw those love hearts, thank you very much. And I'm just going to measure. I think it was whatever was left over, but how perfect was that tree positioning? So it's just, let's go with 5 centimeters. 5 centimeters and by 14.3 to give us the card front. So that's most of the cutting. Put the trimmer aside now. And now let's go ahead and do all the folding so that the mechanism all works, and then we can do the decorating. Hi Anna, thanks for joining. So this is for those who are just popping in. I see lots of people have just popped in. I've done all the cutting now, but this is the card. This one's unfinished, but you'll get the concept. This is the card instructions. It's called a twist and pop. How cool is that? But this time I'm doing it in Blushing Bride, and I'm still using the same Whimsy DSP with the foiling. I cannot get over that foiling. Okay, so let's take our card base and we fold it in half along the score line. And it's always good. Ah, little Miss is here now.
Hi-oh.
Hi-oh. So we're creating...
The bunny.
Yeah, okay, that's Lego though. Okay. We're creating a twist and pop.
Oh, how did you do that?
Well, watch and learn. So we've got the card base all ready to go. And we can put that there, but we won't do that. Actually, we will do that. But before we put that there, I'm going to grab the Blushing Bride ink. And I need grabbing a clean, so I haven't got a light pen
Are you
yet.
going to do that around here?
I'm going to do that in around here, yes.
So in the middle?
Yes, sort of in the middle. There's Tanya. Tanya says hello, little miss.
Hello, Tanya.
And I'm going to just grab a small piece of grid paper. Now, normally I would do all the decorating, assembling first and then decorating kind of thing. But because of the mechanism, I didn't want to start blending ink on top when you've got bits underneath. So there will be quite chunkiness. If you put it sideways, you can see there's quite chunky there. And that would come through in the blending. So it's best to do any blending or kind of decorative work before.
So where are you supposed to write?
Well, on that one there isn't much space to write.
Do you write along here?
You can. You're holding it sideways too.
Yeah, I know. So you can also write on this and this.
Ooh, there's some
Okay.
whispers happening here. So I'm just building up the colour. There we go. Now it's starting to show. Yes, it is starting to show on camera as well as in real life. So I'm going to add, just trying to create a nice little glow effect happening here. Because we're going to do a Christmas tree or two, and I'm thinking a snowflake as well. And it'll stand out a little more with that. And I'm doing it on the card base. For a second there I thought I was doing it on the wrong piece. Ha! But there's no mistakes in card making. There's only creative, what's the word? Honestly, I've lost my words today. Creative discoveries, let's go with that. Well, there we go. Now you can learn. Tanya's just said she's always wanted to make one of these folds. This is one of the first fun folds I ever learnt to do. But it's taken me a while to brave it to do it live. I already mentioned that, and I know for those watching from the beginning, I apologise for the same story again. So I'm now adhering that with a bit of space. So I'm happy with that. Now let's take this piece. So this is the piece with the 4 panels, and we'll fold along the middle first, and I highly recommend burnishing all the folds for this fun fold. Otherwise it doesn't sit flat as it is, you can see that, but burnishing it just helps it stay flatter. So we've folded that up, and now we're going to fold the other sides in the opposite direction by folding them up. No mistakes, only new directions. That's right, Joanne. Except you've got to get these folds right. Well, not so much this one, but the next one. If it's not right, it's not going to work, unfortunately. So now we have our panel. So the middle fold is always up, so it's a mountain fold, and the 2 side ones are always valleys. So we can put that there. And now we are going to fold the long one first and burnish it nicely. This is the part that I always found tricky. You've got to get the measurements right for it to work. And now we're going to fold in the opposite way across the diagonals. And you know you've got it right if your little notch or mark lines up with the edge. So it's got to be, that's got to be a 90-degree angle. If you're not getting that 90-degree, you've made a mistake somewhere. Unfold and other way, and once again 90 degrees. Unfold. And now this is the trickiest bit. So the two X's are our mountains, and our long one along the long edge is the valley. So you push the two valleys in and you're creating a triangle, or like a little house. Can we say that? And then burnish that all and flip, burnish. And that is the mechanism for opening. And it generally is a good idea to mark where the middle is. So I kind of cheat that. So I take this and it'll be at, so if it's 10.5 to 5.25. And I'm just going to use the score blade ever so lightly. So I've got a little score mark. Again, you could use a pencil. That's probably the more sensible way to go about it. Hey, Jody. Okay, so this will sit in there, and if you want, you can glue the two pieces now. So I know that this one will sit over the top of that, but that's all good because when it opens up, it will be out of the way. Oh, all good, Jody. No need to ever apologize for being late. I know people have lives, and my Facebook lives are not exactly a top priority for everyone. So I'm going to glue the Whisper White panel on the bottom here so that we have some space to write when it comes time to write a message. And I'm going to glue the DSP one to the top. And it's easier to glue these in now. You can glue them in later, but once the mechanism is in, it's a lot harder to get all the bits stuck in. Now, what we're going to do is, before we glue this bit to the card base, we're going to glue the folding part, what did I call it? The pop-up part to the mechanism part. And the way we do this is we open up the legs of the house and we make sure that the open edges of the fold are facing towards us and slot between the two. Now the width ends up being the same. Do not buff it up all the way down there. It doesn't usually matter how much space you give there, but you just need a bit of space. And make sure that it's still inside the card. Now this is where a pencil is super handy. I'm just going to draw a line there, flip over and draw a line, making sure it's still nice and straight. Draw a line. It'd be good if I kept there. So now we've got that area, and then if we flip, it looks the same, but it's the opposite. So that is where we want to put our adhesive. And then we slot, making sure the open edge is there, and we slot this in. Now you need a strong adhesive for this. This is very important. Not specifically for this bit, but for when you glue it into your card base, it's important that there is a strong adhesive. So I recommend either Terrante or the Stamp & Seal Plus, because that's plus strong. But for this one, I'm going to use the liquid glue, because that gives me, as we always say, a little bit of wiggle room. And see how I've scribbled where the glue goes so that I remember. And it's always handy to have a bit of wiggle room, isn't it? There we go. And if we look at that, you can see it does the twisting and the popping. Now, some people, before you glue, I should have probably said that. Some people prefer to decorate this, the pop-out piece, before they put it in. And if you're going to plan on writing in here, I would definitely suggest decorating it. But because I'm going to be adding these panels in, I'll work on each individual panel on my table and then pop it in. I like to have the card assembled before I go any further. So now I'm going to make sure the point is lining up with the point there and kind of push it in. So I'm going to close it without any glue and I'm pushing it into the fold. Now opening up, quite happy with that, and going to use the Stamp & Seal. I'm going to try to cover that triangle as much as possible in the Stamp & Seal. This is a really good one for one-handed, as I am doing it. Nope, I thought for a second I'd run out of Stamp & Seal. Oh, I am using the Stamp & Seal Plus. And make sure there's no bits hanging off before you do this. And now I am going to close that over and press. And the top half is attached. And now we're going to just adhere the other side down. Trying to get that tip in, and then any corners that are flopped over the edge there. And once again, fold down and adhere. And pop! And there's the twist. Pop! With the twist. How cool is that? So now, oh, I'm trying to put the green glue onto my Stamp & Seal. Now it's time to decorate. As I said, I've got the 4 panels for the inside, and I'm going to put a Christmas tree on the front. So let's start with the front Christmas tree. And we're going to use the Whimsical Trees stamp set. And we're going to grab that one. I'm still deciding, do I want, yes, we'll do some heat embossing. So I'm going to mount my stamp and grab a piece of mint macaron. There we go, the perfect piece of mint macaron. And we're going to white heat emboss that. So for that I will need the Versamark, my heat embossing tool. Just got to unplug over here to plug that in. And of course I need the white embossing powder. So that a good covering or coating of Versamark. Stamp. And I used to use the spoon, but to be honest, I found it quite fun just dipping my cardstock into the powder. And just flicking on the back to see if any excess embossing powder is back. Oh, I didn't get too much on the desk. That's awesome. Now while I'm heating up the tool, I'm just going to grab some more water. All this talking. Who's having a lovely World Card Making Day? I hope you are. And if you heat from the back as well as the front, you'll get a bit more, well, no, a bit less warping is what I wanted to say. Not more, we don't want more warping, we want less warping. Joanne has made 12 cards and a cake. I love that you've made a cake as well. What kind of cake? Hey Margaret, thanks for joining and sharing. Now I've got to find the dies. What are the dies called?
Which dies?
The ones that coordinate with this tree. This is the Christmas tree dies. And we'll need Mini Bailey in a second.
Oh, yay!
Just lining the die up. The Stampin' Up dies hug the image. I'm just using some washi to hold.
Mama.
Yes, sweetheart.
Can I read Mini Bailey?
Okay.
Yay.
There you go. A packet date cake. Ooh la la.
What's a packet date cake?
It's a date cake from a packet.
Ooh.
With extra dates.
As I had dates that
Needed to be used up. Okay, there you go. Muscles, come on. Oops. Yay! You got it. You got it.
Yay! I got it.
There's our Christmas tree.
For that? We're pretty.
Should we do more than one?
Yeah.
I think we should have done another.
3.
I agree. We need 3.
So 1 on this side, 1 there, and 1 there.
What we will do is... Okay, we're going to stamp this one and again heat emboss it. I should have thought of that.
Smaller one.
A smaller one, yes. So, where's the... Got all the supplies. Well, Darren, that sounds lovely. I do like some date cakes. Well, actually, I don't think I've ever had a date cake, but I do like dates.
Are they like pancakes?
No, dates are not like pancakes. They're like
date
dried
cakes.
date cakes. I do not think that a date cake is like a pancake. Joanne, perhaps you might like to correct me if I'm wrong. But where is the embossing powder? Oops, that was not so elegant. I've got embossing powder on the edge.
Is that bad?
It can be wasteful.
Whoa, that looks cool.
That's cool. So what I'm going to do is, where's that there?
Ah.
Tip. So, I closed the lid but didn't seal the lid. I can tip. Seal as in close it fully. There we go. Less waste now.
There's someone on them.
Oh. And you're going to die cut this one for me as well?
Yes, please.
Okay, but before you do that one, we'll die cut 2 at once.
Yay. Why do you do it underneath?
Do it underneath so it's more even, otherwise the heat makes the cardstock warp, like curve. And by doing it on both sides, it's giving heat to both sides and therefore stopping it. Yes, it's a balance thing.
Like,
yeah, I did too, Tanya.
like a scale with two sides of a scale.
Scale, yes.
You can balance the scale.
Yes, we do. Okay. And the third tree, we're going to do this little tiny one with
Which little one?
baubles.
Oh, that's even smaller.
And we're going to stamp on white in...
What?
No, not in white. In mint macaron.
Mint macaron. I'll get that.
But I'm going to do something even more trickier.
Got the mint macaron.
Thank you. You got the mint macaron. So I'm also going to clear emboss this at the same time. And this is how you can create colored embossing. And the trick is...
This sounds cool.
So it might not show up much on camera, but it's kind of fun in person. So it'll make the mint macaron ink look shiny. So I'm going to ink the stamp first in the Versamark. And then ink it up in the mint macaron.
Then stamp.
Then stamp. And then
Add some of that thingy.
add the clear embossing powder on top. So always do the Versamark, and you can see the powder has attached.
Oh yeah.
So always do the Versamark first.
Why?
Why? Well, I did the green one
Then
first.
you'll get onto that.
Bingo. Clever cookie.
I'm a cookie. How come I can't eat myself?
Well, would you want to?
Maybe if I'm a cookie, a real cookie.
And if I get the angle right on camera, you might be able to see it. There we go. You can see it changing.
Now look.
So if I just, perhaps I should hold the Christmas tree up, but you can just see, if I catch the right light, you might not be able to see it. There, you can kind of see that it's shiny there, the light catches.
Yeah.
And that kind of just coordinates with the fact that we've got the white embossed bits as well.
Time to use Mini Bailey again.
Time to use Mini Bailey again.
Here you go.
Mini Bailey is behind me if you wanted to grab him while I line up
Put
the
him back
dies.
somewhere here.
Back, no, behind me, you'll be able to reach. So again, the dies do hug.
Hug. I love hugging.
You love hugging. Oh, thank you for the hug. Hugging is pretty cool. It's very nice. And what are cards? Do you know what a handmade card is?
Hugging?
Sort of. It's a paper hug. Okay, come on, Mini Bailey.
You told me that before, but I forgot because that was in the old house when we first moved in when we were doing it live.
Okay, come on. Yes. Mussels from Brussels. There we
But I
go.
don't usually eat Brussels. We didn't have Brussels in the house.
Mussels from Brussels. It's a place, not a eating thing. Brussels
Brussels
sprouts.
Oh, Brussels sprouts.
You eat Brussels sprouts, but... And, so we've got 2 white embossed and 1 mint macaron.
How's it going over there? Ooh. Ah.
Ooh, and ah. And we are going to add, where are they? They're somewhere here. Oh,
What?
a snowflake.
I love snowflakes.
And these snowflakes, if I get it in focus and catch, am I holding it the right way? Yep. They are slightly iridescent. Not sure
Does
if
that mean?
well, they've got a shine to them. If I hold up the whole sheet, you can see that
Oh yeah.
shine. And these are my customer gift this month.
Ooh.
So if you spend $50 or more in my online store, you will get one of these sent to you, a packet of these, not just one snowflake, a packet of them sent to you
Cool.
in, what's next month? November.
November. Then it's December.
Yes, crazy.
I know. How is this possible?
There we go. I am
Then me.
very happy with that.
I'm very happy too.
You're very happy too?
No.
Okay, so let's glue these bits together. Brussels is in Belgium, and they
Where
make
is that?
very good chocolate.
Chocolate.
Belgium is a country in Europe.
I love chocolate. Do they have white chocolate?
I don't know, I've never been there.
White chocolate's my favourite chocolate.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't pass on my love of
But I still like
dark chocolate. Okay, so I'm going to glue
white chocolate more.
this one down. There.
Whee!
Isn't it a gorgeous set, Margaret?
Whoa.
And we're going to use stamping dimensionals on this tree. I was putting the dimensional backings on the table during the last live, but man, what a mess I had to clean up afterwards. Is that fun? And then the little tree will go here.
Lucky last little tree.
Little tree, and it only needs one dimensional. Joanne said she used to like
I
white
read
chocolate.
that.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, I read that one.
You read that?
When I was her age, but I grew up.
I used to too like white chocolate, but it's finding it too sweet these days.
It's yummy.
It's yummy, and we need a sentiment, don't we?
Yummy for my tummy. Okay.
Yummy for my tummy. Where's the stamp? So
There. Okay. Can I read the sentiment?
read them.
Wishing you Christmas cheer and magical moments that last all year. May the love of the season warm your home and fill your heart. Let your heart be light.
So I'm thinking, let your heart be white, light, not white, and we will. I'm channeling some Kayla right now.
Kayla?
Kayla, my friend.
Ah, Kayla.
She does this all the time. So
No.
oh, no, that's too narrow. Well, it's all right. So I'm getting a piece of basic black, and we're going to
Basic black.
basic black. We are going to
Basic black.
yes, basic black. What's so astonishing about that?
Oh, I was confused because of basic white.
Well, it's basic black, and basic white, and we need
Black and white are opposites.
other. Going to white heat emboss.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Oh, and she's off. Summoned by her brother. Yeah, it's a bit of a taste. I mean, I had chocolate covered almonds today, so I did do sugar-free September. So I didn't eat anything sugary with sugar all of September. I had an ice cream yesterday and it was just way too sweet. The ice cream itself was all right, but the quantity. So I could have eaten half the bar. And then today, hubby gave me some chocolate covered almonds and I was very excited. It was only 3, but by the third it was just too sweet. It was more milk chocolate. Well, it said it was dark chocolate, I think, but it was more milky than darky, if that makes any sense. And we're going to fussy cut that. Because we can. It's getting overcast here. Does it look like it's going to rain again? Hey, little man. Oop. No, not really. Funny weather today. Perfect weather for some craft and So don't forget, I will be going live once again this evening. You were right there, honey.
Yeah.
At 8 p.m. Australian Standard Time, Eastern Standard Time. So that's Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane time. Brisbane just for the rest of today. And I'm going to be sharing some techniques. It'll be a technique-based one, and it'll be featuring the blending brushes. And you'll need a mask, any kind of mask. So it's you could use any of the masks that we carry, or you could create your own by die cutting out some window sheet. So I'm super excited about sharing that one. And I do suggest 2 ink pads, one piece of cardstock that's the same as one of the ink pads, and then a darker ink pad, if that makes sense. So for example, piece of Calypso coral, not Calypso. What's my favorite color? A piece of, oh my goodness, brain. Coastal Cabana. I had to check. Piece of Coastal Cabana, and I would have a Coastal Cabana ink pad, as well as Bermuda Bay. So if you wanted pinks, a light pink and a dark pink. Tanya said she had a bit of a moment thinking we needed a face mask. No, this is all completely COVID safe and no masks required. No, I meant decorative masks. And we are going to put...
Can I play it?
Bunny, why do you have...
Also, I don't interrupt your thingy.
But, okay. He's got headphones on, but he's got his sister's headphones on, so let's position it a bit more that way. So we will need a small... Good thing we have... the mini, what are we called? Oh my goodness, mini dimensional, there, gosh. So mini dimensional there, and glue on the other half, not too much, because it's, and and see, by adding the ink blending, it just helps the snowflakes stand out a bit more on that side, which is what I really like. And for the fun bit, bop, let's quickly decorate our 4 panels. What to do. So on one of them, I would like to stamp a sentiment. So if we just put...
How is it going?
Good, the front is finished and we're now decorating these, and I'm gonna use the sentiment here. It's, may the love of the season warm your home and fill your hearts. Isn't that just beautiful?
I was hoping you'll use that one.
You were hoping for it, were you?
Yeah.
That is awesome. And we'll put it in on the 3rd panel.
3rd panel. Oh, panel, I get it.
It's just going to fit. It's going to be cut off a little bit. Just a little bit. And I think we'll stamp it in mint macaron.
Minty.
I haven't used mint macaron in ages.
Is this mint macaron?
Yes, that is. I'm going to just clean that stamp. I kept getting ink.
So didn't you just use it then?
Well, yes, I'm using it today, but I'm just saying prior to today. It's been a while.
Like a wild crocodile?
Yes, a wild crocodile.
Yay, I like crocodiles.
Okay, don't shake.
Okay.
The paper is curving. There. It's not straight. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I need it to be straight. Okay, that will fit. So let me do it this way. I know, I'm a perfectionist. There. And now we'll quickly die cut that out. I'm concentrating. I was thinking very hard lining that up. But I got it lined up. Oop, there we go. Just using a bit of washi to hold it all in place. But you can see, lined up that straight edge with the and fill your heart bit. Still not cracked. For those who watch me regularly, still waiting, but I do have the replacement plate all ready to go. There we go, much happier with that. And for this one, we'll do some more pink blending. Thank you, Tanya. Did I already say that? So I'm going to blend the Blushing Bride ink into the corner, and I want it to fade to white, but I want it specifically in that corner. That's the top left. Sorry, I had to think about that. Go down. And the more ink you add into the corner, the darker that corner will be. And what I might do is the opposite. So on the bottom right corner, do the same to the fourth panel. One thing I will say is that I wouldn't recommend putting all these panels on dimensionals. I would stick them straight down because there's already enough thickness in the card. You don't want to add to that. So I'm loving that. And what we're going to do is grab another snowflake. Now, don't throw out these sheets because you can die cut bits out of them and you will get some beautiful bits. And I'm going to put the snowflakes in there. We will have to trim them, but that's okay. Ooh. One snowflake for that one and one snowflake for this one. So let's the glue dot will work really well too. But I've already got the liquid glue out. And now I'm flipping it to the side, and I'm not going to try to cut all the scallops out. I'm just going to snip it across. There. Can you see that? There, that's in frame. Love it. If you wanted to, keep that bit. I wouldn't waste that snowflake. I'll keep it and find it another project, another home for it, for sure. And the reason why I'm flipping this upside down before I trim is that I can see the edges a lot better. And that makes it a lot easier to trim. So we've got that and that. And then I think we should do some ink blending on that one as well. Now, what do we think? Should I blend the ink from the bottom, covering a bit of the sentiment going up, or should I blend the ink from the top? So give me a thumbs up from the bottom up and a love heart from top down while I get the blending brush. I'm seeing love hearts. Okay, Tanya, got it. So I've got this. Okay, we're going to go from the top. I've got this green one. So I've got quite a few blending brushes. You can certainly just have the 3-pack. And now you're laughing. Oh, you're a comedian. But I was just getting rid of some of the excess ink. Yeah, I think you were right. From the top, because my ink pad is quite juicy as well. Now, it's probably not a true mint macaron, being that I had a bit of the light green of another colour, but that's okay. That'll go there. And what we'll do is do a bit of ink blending the opposite way on this one. And then we'll stamp, and then we'll put it all together. So ink blending is another way of extending your supplies, in the sense that if you don't have all the coloured cardstock, you can add a bit of colour by blending. Now, for this one, we will stamp that big tree. That was in Versamark, so I can just go straight to the ink pad. There you go. So. And let's just see. Bum, bum, bum. Let's do, why not? It just fits on there. Let's add some, what are they called? Baubles. Thank you, Tanya. So I'm making sure that the bauble lines are off the edge there. And I am happy with that as it is. I will not add any more. Put my stamps to the side. And let's adhere it all. So of course, like I mentioned before, you could adhere all these panels before you stick all the mechanisms together. But I like being able to visualize it all popped up. And then of course, if you plan to write on any of those panels, I would definitely recommend doing all of that before you assemble your card. But that is, my friends, the fantastic fun fold for today. It's been a while since I've done one, hasn't it? I do miss them, but yeah, just can't. It's just too much at the moment to do 2 lives. Oh, I'm doing 3 today, but as a regular thing, 2 lives. That makes 4 this week. Ooh. Not keeping up with all the posting to YouTube. And of course, if you wanted to add more, you can, embellishments and etc. But I enjoy it just as is. And while I have the ink's still out. We should decorate the envelope quickly too. Let's stamp. Thank you, Joan. Let's stamp that big Christmas tree again. Just like so. And there we go, my friends. There's the twist and pop. We were talking about Christmas colours. So this is not quite traditional, but I really love the pink and green combo. And pop. Who's feeling the Christmas spirit now? There we go. Let's just flip. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that, actually I didn't ask, did anyone craft along with me and make their own twist and pop card? Please do let me know in the comments. Even if you're watching this after World Card Making Day, any day is a great day for making cards if you ask me. But with World Card Making Day today, I definitely have to exploit it a bit. Well, I have one more live left for today that is at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And what do you need? You need a piece of cardstock and 2 colours, one in the same colour as the cardstock and one darker one. So I will be using Coastal Cabana's cardstock with Coastal Cabana ink and Bermuda Bay. And then, you know, card base and stuff like that. But you also need a decorative mask. Not the type that you wear on your face. I'm sure there are many decorative ones out there that you have, but I am talking about masks for masking and stuff. Just to make that clear there. Anyway, I will see you. I don't even know what time it is, but I'll see you in about 4 hours, I think. Bye for now.